Hey folks, Two Sheds Gabby here. How is everybody? Oh, wow. I'm going to do a box of pennies. This box of pennies is one of the boxes I put together, getting $5 worth here and $5 worth there. And so some of them came from Louisville, Kentucky here. Some came from Shelbyville, Kentucky. And so we're just going to see what what type of copper we get a hold of in this mix match from several different banks. Oh, it's 9:30 p.m. I'm probably not going to finish tonight. I've got the biggest mess. Tomorrow's Saturday, so I think I'll take part of the day and clean this place up. I got stuff over here listed that I got to get out to my shed. Shoo. Anyway, I hope we do find some good stuff in these coins. You never know what to expect. I did each handful of them. I did look at them to make sure that there's look like circulated enders. There wasn't a bunch of them or anything that looked brand new. So let's get started right away. I got a couple little stories to tell you about what's going on, and let's see what we find. My first roll, I get 9 copper pennies. If I get that average every roll, that'll be my 3 pounds. So that's cool. I just found this really nice looking 1973 Denver, but I got a closer look. Look at that. Can you see that? Looks like somebody put scratches all along his beard and his hair. It's like they intentionally scratched it all up to make his beard and hair look different. Can you see those scratches? I don't know what to think of that. It's almost like they went to a lot of trouble just to do that. I don't know. All right, guys, it's the 5th row. The second through the 4th row did not have the 9 that I needed to get 3 pounds. So we may struggle to get 3 pounds here in this box, but hopefully we'll get a couple anyway. So I was at a friend's house today. You all have heard me talk about my Rudy Tooty Aim and Shooty before. We went over to visit him, and I took one of my Rudy Tooty Aim and Shooties for him to see because he had never seen it before. And there's a place on the way home from his house where you can buy new Rudy Tooty Aim and Shooties, or you can just buy supplies for your Rudy Tooty Aim and Shooties. And I have another Rudy Tooty Aim and Shooty that needs some supplies. We'll call those supplies biscuits, because these Rudy Tooties Aim and Shooties don't work unless you put biscuits in them. And these biscuits, they come with funny numbers. The Rudy Tooty Aim and Shooty that I took my friend today, the biscuits it needs have a .22 number on it. But I've got a Rudy Tooty Aim and Shooty that's got a fun little spin wheel on it, but it needs .32 biscuits. You know, some biscuits are .38, some of them are 9mm, so there's all types of different sizes for these Rudy Tooty Aim and Shooties. And I stopped in this supply place, and it looked funny in there, and it turns out they're going out of business tomorrow. Well, I was hoping maybe these supplies, these biscuits, were going to be on sale for my Rudy Tooty Aim and Shooty. And I just, there's my Canadian. That's the first thing we're getting other than some copper. What do we got? 1981. Cool beans. 98% copper. 82. So I walk in there and I tell him what I've got. This Rudy Tooty Aim and Shooty needs some .32s. And I want a box. Give me 50 of those biscuits you got back there. And he goes over and looks and he says, we're going out of business tomorrow. How many you want? I said, just one box. And he goes, okay. And with tax, my 50 box of 50 .32 biscuits was $45. Wow. To me, that seems like an awful lot. I maybe should have went somewhere else. But now I've got them, because all I had was some biscuits, biscuits that have been in this spinny wheel for many, many, many years. And I'm going to take them out and put some new biscuits in. My spinny wheel holds 6 biscuits. The very next row, we get a Wheatie. All right. The 1958D, the most rare wheat penny ever made. The 58D. I love Wheaties anyway. I finally get to look at some 2023s to see if we get us an extra V. So how many of you guys remember, you've heard me say that my wife and I we fast on Wednesdays. It's about a 40-hour thing because we, on Tuesday night after we eat dinner, around, we'll say we finish around 7. And then we don't eat again until lunchtime on Thursday. And we do this for health. 23. And I've been listening to this guy that we listen to, Dr. Sten. And he was talking about a 100-hour fast. And he breaks it down. What happens at this after 18 hours and after 24 hours and all this stuff. And so I told my wife, I said, hey, this is a good week for it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do 100. Actually, it's going to be about 108. No, 111 hours, something like that. And I'm already over 70 hours into it. I haven't eaten since Tuesday. This is Friday night, almost 10 o'clock. And I haven't eaten since Tuesday, just before 7 p.m. I'm doing pretty good. He said, you may get a weird sense of euphoria on the 4th day. I don't know if I'll get that, but I feel all right. I'm not hungry. That's kind of a weird thing. Your tongue every now and then will say, hey, I want something, but I really don't feel hungry. The first day, around lunchtime, on Wednesday, your tongue's like, it's time to eat, but you just, you're not going to, so it's not that big a deal. And I haven't had a problem at all, but I'm feeling a tightness in my gut now, and I guess it's just different things happening. It's not like a tightness like you've just worked out, nothing like that. It's a kind of a funny feeling. Not euphoric, I don't think I'm there yet. Maybe I'm giddy, I don't know. But I'm going to, one of the things they talk about is how to break a fast, what you do at the end. And you don't want to put a whole bunch of carbs in there. It'll just mess your system up. And so I'm going to start Sunday morning, instead of having coffee or tea, I'm going to have a warm cup of bone broth, real healthy bone broth. And that's how I'll kind of start getting my system used to putting something else in it. Well, this is the 10th row, guys. We'll just go through this one and see if we find anything. 82. So after I do the broth thing in the morning, then we go to my mom's for lunch after services. Copper. And then over there, they said later, a few hours after your broth, to eat sauerkraut. Said you can drink some pickle juice. It's fermented stuff, Ooh, yuck. Is there a date on there? I think acid wash took it all away, I guess. And they said to eat like salmon or something like that, And that's what I was going to do. I've got a piece of salmon in the freezer I was going to get out. But the main thing is almost no carbs. And so my wife was going to make vegetable soup, so she's just going to make it. She's not going to put any potatoes in it. It'll have some chicken in it. and some veggies, but not high carb veggies. So I'll just eat some sauerkraut and soup. I just won't eat any of the cornbread, which I love cornbread, but not tomorrow. Maybe a day after that or something like that. So that, and the reason that we do these longer fasts is for a thing called autophagy. Because after your body processes all the food, which takes 18 or so hours after you eat, and a bigger guy like me might take a little longer. But after that, then your body goes into gear fixing stuff inside the body. After so many days, you actually get like a whole brand new immune system. White blood cells are replaced. Bad clusters of cells have gone bad, it fixes them. If you've got like bad cells that could become cancerous, it could easily just eat those away. I'm not saying that if you have cancer that it will stop that, but precancer stuff, bad cells, it can definitely stop that. And that's why I'm doing it. Oh, plus I'll tell you if by any chance I lose any weight, I'll let you know how many pounds I'm down, if I am down any. Hope that will be. Uh-oh, look at this. It's a whole roll of 2022 Philadelphias. Man, I don't think I've got many of these in here. I showed you guys that I got like 10 rolls of them at a bank yesterday, but I traded those into at another bank for some, and so this is different. I hope not many of them show up like this. Well, I don't know if there's anything about the 2022s that's worth anything. Bummer. Okay, here is Wheatie number 2. 1944 Denver. 2 Wheaties now. So I'm disappointed. Already I found, what's that, 7 more rolls of 2022s. So I'm assuming there's going to be a total of 10 rolls of them in here. I didn't even catch that. I was just throwing them in when I'd come out of the bank and I had, a rubber band of 10 of them. I just threw them in this box here. I didn't even catch that. So I'm not going to open those. And the other one that I opened, I threw it in the zinc box. But I'll hang on to these and try to decide what to do with them. Might even just trade them back into another bank. I don't know, since they're already rolled. But that's going to mean probably no chance of getting 3 pounds, but we'll see what we get in copper. We're still getting some, so that's cool. Maybe a couple more Wheaties. Copper is up, man. 3.27 cents each per copper penny. Boy, forever, early this year and part of last year was, under 3 cents. And now it's over 3.25. And who knows where it'll get. Silver's down a little bit. It's just under $49 tonight. Still, these $49, all this silver that I've gotten recently is sure worth more than it was a couple years ago. Pretty neat. 82. Guys, look at that. I just remembered part of this box. These are all 2022s, by the way, every one of them. I was at a bank, I don't remember where, but they said, we've got $20 worth we can sell you. I'm like, oh, cool, great. And so that's what this is. They were down in the bottom. I didn't even look at them. I just got, a couple more $5 worths. And I guess I just threw them right on top. Oh, my goodness. Well, tell you what, I've got some rolls back here that's kind of special. I was saving them for a special reason. but it was going to take me a long time for this to accomplish. But now I don't think I can accomplish it, and I'll explain why. Let me turn off here. I'm going to go get this, and I'm going to come back over here, and we're going to go through some more rolls. But just the next clip, I'll show you. Okay, here we are. I don't know if you can see what's going on here. See all those wheat pennies? Every one of these enders is a wheat penny. So a year or so ago, I was averaging at least one wheat penny ender per box. And then this year, man, they just practically came to an end. So weird. I would get a couple, and I thought, oh, I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to save up wheat penny enders until I get a whole box of them, even if it takes me 2 years. My buddy in West Virginia has probably provided half of these or more for me for that purpose. And I was going to wait until I got a whole box full of them. Then I was going to pull them all out and say, come on, guys, let's go through 50 rolls of pennies, all of them with a wheat penny ender. But now I'm not going to be getting pennies anymore. They might trickle in here and there, but yeah, I'd probably be 90 at this rate before I'd get 50 rolls of wheat penny enders. So I got 13 rolls. So that's what we're going to finish up tonight with, 13 rolls of wheat penny enders. And we'll just see if we end up, and I've got 2 from already, so that'll be 15. Let's see if we end up with more than 15 and what years we find. Let's get started. All right, this first row had the obverse showing, and it's a 53 San Francisco. We do like those San Francisco coins. Cool beans. And we'll just see what else shows. And so some of these rolls have been here for several months, just waiting for me to get all these put together. And unfortunately, life has changed, But I do hope we get a couple more Wheaties in the rolls. 82. So these are a mixture from around here and from West Virginia. And thank you, buddy, over in West Virginia for the ones you contributed. And I hope you're cool with me doing it this way, because I don't think we was going to get a whole box full of them. He was so generous to help me out with this. Whenever we'd see each other, he'd have a few rolls for me. It's a pretty nice looking one, but not quite what I need for my special jars of them. That'll go into the regular old box of copper coins. I think that says 1980. All right, the next roll that I grabbed, the Wheatie, is on the reverse. What do we got there? 53 Denver. 53 Denver. So a few weeks ago, I guess it probably was, I was going, just thumbing through Facebook, just seeing what's going on. And I guess it was a commercial. A feed came up for this pizza, a deep dish pizza. Years ago, Pizza Hut made a pizza pie called a Piazzo. Man, it was good, but they quit making them. I think because they changed ovens, and you have to use a good old like brick oven. And all the Pizza Huts don't do that, so they got rid of the Piazza. Man, I hated that. But I saw this deep dish pizza advertised, and so I looked up the name of it, and I can't even think of the name of it. But anyway, I looked up where it is, And it's not far, not real. It's like the next little town over from where my daughter's moving to. And I'm like, I got to get that. So I told my wife, I said, let's contact them and see if they will meet us at this Enzo's. I think it's called Enzo's. And I said, see if they'll meet us down there, and I'll buy us all a big pizza, and we'll see what we think about this thing. Here is a picture of it. Oh, man, that looks... I hope it don't have too much cheese. I'll tell you about too much cheese in the next roll. You might think that's impossible. No way you can make pizza with too much cheese. I beg to differ. $82. Missed. Next roll, the Wheat Penny Ender is a 1942 Philadelphia. So we haven't gotten one in the roll yet, but maybe we will. So several years ago, me and a buddy of mine were in Chicago. I think I sold some artwork to a gallery up there. And so we went up there and took care of our business, and then we got a hotel room and was just messing around town, went over by Chicago Cubs Stadium, and I think it was pretty close to the Cubs Stadium is where we got this. For lunch, we got a, what was it, a buffalo tongue taco. And the first bite, I said, hey, that ain't bad, but it has an aftertaste. And so, in my opinion, that aftertaste wasn't pleasant. I didn't want a second one. But anyway, that evening, we went in. I don't even know the name of the place. It was a Chicago style. It was real thick cheese. Real white cheese, you know. And we got a small one because it was a big, thick pizza. And we got back to our room. We just got it to go. We got back to our room, 82, and opened it up and started eating it. And you take a bite of this thing. You got to break off the cheese because it's so stringy. But I'm telling you guys, I chewed and chewed and chewed. And it's like it never went away. It didn't like break down or nothing. I just kept chewing and chewing. And finally, you just swallow it and take another bite. It tasted good, but I couldn't deal with it. It was so much cheese. I couldn't do it. We didn't finish the pizza, I'm telling you. And it wasn't huge. It was just thick. But we couldn't finish it because you could never get through the cheese. You just kept chewing and chewing. It's like, I guess I don't have any enzymes in my mouth to break this cheese down. So in my opinion, you can have too much cheese. I like a lot of cheese. Next roll, the Wheatie, is a 1953 Denver. I believe that is another 53 Denver. So we're going to go through every one of these rolls, but I'll just kind of zoom through part of it, and I'll put a little music on. And I got a few pictures to show you anyway. Some of them are funny. And I haven't put them up for a while, but I'm going to put a few up in this one. You too. You know what I'd like to find? I'd like to find a penny with another state stamped on it. Haven't found one of those in a while. I won't even mention proofs. I almost never find a proof penny. My son just texted me. I'll check that out in between rolls. Is that another Wheatie? That's what we like to see right there. Great. 1944 Philadelphia. We got a 42 and a 44. How about a 43? The next roll is a 55D. When I opened this roll, it looked like a whole lot of them are almost brand new looking. Like that right there. 82. Maybe there's going to be a bunch of 24s in this row. That's what it looks like. They still managed to get my Wheatie in there, though. That's good. Whole bunch of them in this row. One of them just made it to the floor. Besides the Wheatie, there was one other copper. All right, the next row has a 1950 San Francisco. I left my harp in San Francisco. So a few days ago, first of the week, when my wife was away, I went over to see a buddy of mine several towns over. And he knows that I'm taking coins to a couple of banks. One of them, they said just bring them loose and run them through the machine, and then they'd roll some up. But one of the other branches, and that's even if they still have any boxes at all, she said I could swap them out. And I've done that once already. And I may ask her if they've got any more for me to swap out. Hey, there's another Wheatie. Cool. Okay, 45D. Cool. 40s and 50s so far. Anyway, he gave me, or loaned me one of these. It's for easily rolling the coins. You put your coins in there, and they, right at the top of that is 50. If you happen to put in more, you just tilt it over like that, and the extras come out. Then you can slide your roll right down in the top here, your paper roll, and then turn it up, and you've got yourself a roll of pennies. Pretty quick and easy. So that's kind of neat. But I'll have to contact that branch and see if they're even going to work with me on that. It'd be cool to be able to trade another box of rolled in zinc in to get one, because my options are running out, I'm telling you. I can probably, well, no, I was thinking I might still be able to buy a bag, but that's only if they get plenty of penny bags that they'd let me buy one, because they're rolling up pennies too. So I don't even know, 82, if that's going to be an option anymore. Golly. It's a strange world after all. I went into a bank yesterday, and it was a lady maybe closer to my age, probably not quite 65. And she's like, I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime. She's just kind of blown away by the whole thing. She just can't believe that the penny's going to be gone away, you know. And I agree with her. I just hadn't had any bankers say that statement to me, to the emotion that she had in it. That's a pretty nice one. Looks like he got shot with paintball. Look at this, guys. Here's one over 100 years old. 1919, Philadelphia. That's cool. I like finding them old ones. It's not a super rare one or nothing, but it's super old. So once the pennies are pretty much gone, I think I'll do a quarter box every now and then. I don't hardly ever do quarters. Hardly ever. I saw something today that I didn't know. You guys know I use that Rydell sorting machine, and I can use it for pennies and dimes. I think that says 81. I better weigh that guy. But somebody sent me a link today to a different company that makes some parts that fit these Rydell, and you can get different, like cartridge, different mixer hoppers that work on different coins. I don't think I'll get one because they're like $300 or $400 each. That you can take off, the top part and put in one that has different sorter in it, and it fits nickels or quarters. So you can even get them to fit foreign coins, and some of them will fit like a quarter and a peso and all the and different things, which was totally cool. But I don't think I'm going to mess with that. So if I get a box of quarters, we'll just go through them just like I do my pennies. And see if we can find a W or a silver. And I guess I'll probably pick out a few other things to look for as well. I think I may have mentioned that a while back. Next row, not quite so old, a 1957 Denver. So I always try to put up a Bible talk or a sermon or something from our preacher. And this week's sermon, this last Sunday's, was about joining the Lord's church universally and locally and what all the Bible has to say about it. And so I would ask you if you have a chance to listen to that. Good stuff, good information, a lot of Bible verses that he backs things up with. And if you listen to it and you have a comment, I'm always open for comments. These that look ugly like that, I don't even know why I turn them over, because I turn them over and I don't even care if they're 2023, because when they look like that, I don't even look for anything. Somebody said, well, you're liable to miss one. I'm like, yeah, I might, but they're hard to even look for, the VDB, so I don't mess with it. If I get a VDB, I want it to be a nice one. If somebody comes to me and says, look, here's a dirty VDB with the extra V, I go, oh, okay, I'll take it. But I'm not going to look for them. Ooh, 5090. We'll still weigh the copper at the end and just see how much we got. That's what I like them to look like right there. Next row is a 1941 Philadelphia. Worn a bit. There's 4 rows left, and all those 4 rows, the Wheatie is reverse. I can't tell what year it is. I didn't look at them anyway, but I just wanted to let you know the next 4 will be reversed. We'll turn it over and see what it is. Some of them you just can't hardly tell. The divots aren't very strong. My silver finds have just been unbelievable lately. I just can't hardly get over it. The silver dimes, golly. I've found here's where I got why I have so many silvers this year. Because I started the year saying that I was hoping to get 150 silver coins. And then I started getting those silver dimes. I've gotten 150 silver dimes. And so if I get the other 150 plus the dimes, there's 300. I'm at 320. Just cannot imagine. Never dreamed I'd get that many silver coins this year. At the end of the year, 1st of January, we'll go through and just see what all I got, and we'll figure out how many ounces of silver it is and all that cool stuff. And I'll show you the whole stack. I'll just pull them all out of the box because then I'll put 2026 on the box, and then all those silvers I'll feed in with all my other stuff that I've got. I'm not wishing my life away, but I'm kind of looking forward to that. It'll be kind of fun. Okay, what do we get? Lip smacking, patty whacking. Cracker Jacks, 57D. I don't have a song tonight. I don't have nothing. Just usually I've got songs going through my head and stuff, but for some reason I don't tonight. 52 Denver, another Wheatie. That's cool beans. Got a song in my heart. That was Grassroots. One of the first albums I had when I was a kid was Grassroots Greatest Hits. Promise to be yours forever. Oh, heaven knows how much I love you, how much it shows. 2009, that's the first one of those I've seen. That's a pretty good one, too. We'll keep it. I got rolls and rolls of them, but I'm still putting them aside. I've got, I was going through nickels a while back, and I wasn't keeping the 2025s. And I said, I think I've got some of those put away. I just found them today. I got several rolls of them put away. One of the commandments is not to take the Lord's name in vain. And I'm not saying what people were thinking when they wrote songs, but the word Lord is used a whole lot in songs. And I generally, if it's not really speaking to God, or if it's just used that kind of as an inference or an euphemism type thing, I don't like to repeat that. I don't like taking his name in vain. So a lot of songs that have, there's another 2009. Oh, that's a nice one. Cool. So a lot of songs I listen to that I know that that's in there, I'll come up with another word, or if I'm singing along, I'll just change the word because I just, I don't like doing that. Next row, just two after this. What's our ender this time? 1944. I believe we got a couple of those. And I am not going to judge these people that sang it and say, I know they had the wrong intentions in their heart when they were. I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying that for me, if it's not like a song to God or something, if it's just saying Lord just for no reason, then I try not to do that. That's just my thing. If you sing along and you say it, I'm not going to point a finger at you. It's just something that occurred to me one day, and I'm like, I think I'm going to rethink my whatever. I don't know what stance I took, probably nothing at all, but it's like, I'm just not going to do that. That's just me, 82. I watched Glenn Campbell and Roy Clark play a song together on their guitar. Oh man, those guys were amazing. You know, Glenn Campbell, he wasn't just a singer, he was one amazing guitar player. That is a nice looking 1979. What's going on right next to that 9? I hate it when my phone does that. Probably nothing. I thought maybe it was a little glitch of some type. But anyway, that was a nice one. I guess I'll put that one in my roll of extra fine memorial pennies. 82. Bump, bump. Sorry about that, folks. I am the worst. The worst. Bumping my camera all the time. Second to the last row, and here is our Ender Weedy penny, 1956. We have one so far tonight that's over 100 years old, and the rest of them have been 40s and 50s. But it's just fun to find wheat pennies. I just like them a lot. So somebody told me that they listen to my videos and it puts them to sleep. I couldn't tell if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, it's like, does he find me so boring that it easily puts him to sleep? Or he just enjoys hearing my videos and listens to them at night and just falls asleep to it. You know, I like to think it was the second one and not the first, but, you know, I'm sure that there's plenty of people who've clicked onto my videos and like, that's not for me. And I get it. I'm not for everybody. I'm too political for some. I've had several people say, this is a coin video, not a political video. It's like, well, I'm the one doing it, so I'll decide that. And you can watch or not, you know. Everybody has that right. You can turn that old thing off. What's the old saying? You can stand for something or fall for anything. I'm not a fall for anything kind of guy. Copper. Last roll, guys. 1956 Denver. Got a big stack of them from the 50s over there. And it's 5 after 11. You guys know that I wanted to go to bed before 11. I didn't intend to stay up this long, but once I made the switch over to go through these coins with the Weedy Enders, I knew I wanted to finish. Sometimes it's just so hard to see them. 82. So after this roll, I'll weigh those 82s real quick. And then we'll go over there and weigh the copper. It'd be cool if I still got like 2 pounds. I just don't know if we do or not. Here's a 59 Philly. Look on the back. If you can't hardly see the date, it's probably zinc. Because they just don't mint as well as the good copper one. See, like, yeah, you can't hardly see that year. It's 2000 something. That one you can see real plain. '82. I was hoping we might find one more wheat penny. I think that says 82. I'll weigh that at the end. Couple more pennies here. All right, guys, let me go weigh these 82s and I'll get right back with you. All right, here we are, guys. I don't know if, I doubt if it's 2 pounds. I ended up with 18 wheat pennies. That's pretty cool. Nope, it's like 10 pounds and 1 pound and 9 ounces. We'll just add that to one of my box. In fact, I think it might fill up my box up there because it was getting pretty full. Well, it looks like it's not going to be quite enough. I was afraid of that. Dropped about 3 of them. Good night, folks. We'll see you next time. I'll do some nickels here pretty soon.